Okay, guys, we're live. Back at our regular time, 11 o'clock Eastern. We'll be here each weekday, 11 a.m. Eastern, with the best sports betting information you're going to get anywhere. As you can see in the title says I crushed the NBA lines again. That's what I do every goddamn day. We're going to give you the two games, but this horse has left the barn just like the other day. Guys, I give you all the best information here at 11 a.m. Eastern each day. But unless you're a member, you're not going to get the numbers that my members are getting. And I'm going to have some members chime in. Which of my members want to put the games out at when we sent these bets out yesterday? If I can get some of the members this way, the people out there that aren't members actually believe me. So if I can, any of the members, please put the two games in and what lines we got them at. See my man Aaron, how you doing, my man? And Ginger, A-Wolf, how you guys doing? Sharp butter knife remembers that 26-3 run a couple years ago. Ginger, Magic -6 and Knicks +1. Ginger is a member. So for you guys that aren't members, take a look at your app or however you get your lines. Action Network, I don't know what the hell you do. Not a member, but thanks for all the info. Tim, I don't know why you're not a member, Tim. You sound like a knowledgeable guy all the time. Not knocking you, but there's nobody more knowledgeable than me. The pros. We really do this. As my man Jin just said, Orlando Magic -6. That game right now is sitting at 8. Even some spots, 8.5. Knicks +1. Knicks is sitting at 3 at most of the spots. You heard me talk about this the other day. This is what we do every single day, every single game, absolutely bury the number. So coming off a huge Sunday, 5-1, our only NBA loser, Milwaukee Bucks, we took +5. That game lands 6. That's our only L for the day. And we just absolutely crushed the numbers, and we do it again today. And we'll go through those games. Just excuse the voice a little today, guys. I'm up in Connecticut. Most of you guys that know me for a while, I'm a New York guy my whole life. Spent the last few years down in Florida. Kind of get used to that nice, warm Florida weather. Come up here and it's a little cool. But been having great weather up here. If you guys know the Northeast, it's November, so it should be cold, just not used to these 40 degrees overnights and in the morning. Anyway, those are our two games already today. Didn't have an NBA bet yesterday, but let's talk a little bit about what did go on in the NBA last night. Cleveland stays undefeated. Don't cover, though. Bulls a different team with Levine in the mix. He did a good job again last night. But Cavs stay undefeated. I just had, again, that number was a little too high for me. I told you 7 was the opener, just a little too high. The game lands 6. These games got to be right there. Wizards, I feel bad for our guys that jumped. A couple of guys said they jumped on the Wizards yesterday. Now, +13.5, right bet. Game goes down to 12. I just want nothing to do with the Wizards. I told you. Worst team in the NBA, and it's not close. So Houston, even though they were without Van Vliet, and Wizards get Kuzma back, they just can't get the job done. Nets, told you, Nets are a solid team, even with DFS. Dorian Finney-Smith out and Murphy coming back. Nets still edge out a win. They had a nice little trip. Go to Boston, take the Celtics to overtime, give the Cavs all they could want in Cleveland, and then finish up at New Orleans and get a W. So they'll go home. Not a bad trip. New Orleans absolutely decimated. They're missing a starting lineup. DeJounte Murray, first game of the season, broken hand out. C.J. McCollum out. Herbert Jones out. Zion Williams. I mean, it's just that they're absolutely mangled. So Clippers come from way back and just get under the number. That line closed 6.5. Game lands on 6. Another one. These were tough spots yesterday. Wanted to see how OKC was going to play that first game without Holmgren. J-Dub moves to the center, so they're going to play small. And I told you guys here yesterday, Zubac was going to own them on the boards, and that's exactly what he did. He had a big game. But James Harden is the problem. Powell gets 31. Harden another 5 for 15 days shooting. And I think I was telling my man Orlando, if Harden can pick up his game, Clippers could be a little better. Kawhi Leonard, guys, I mean, he's going to come back every year. Was he going to be healthy for a month, 2 months, if that long? They are what they are right now. In that last game, Sacramento, San Antonio, Sac had pretty much owned the Spurs. But just a terrible spot. I tell you how important that coming off back-to-back, off and overtime is made even more complicated. Malik Monk, he's going to be out for a while. San Antonio, Wemby has a monster of a game. CP3, they're getting better. I told you, I wasn't as high as everybody was on San Antonio. Now Vassal's back. Again, CP3 integrating himself, getting to know Wemby, and they'll start to get a little better and they'll creep up. So that was the card yesterday. The football game, made a small 1-unit bet on the over. How wrong was I? What terrible offenses. What a flip of the script. Tua looked phenomenal at Buffalo the week before. Just thought with Tyreek Hill, if they were going to play him, I mean, you're 2-6. Is he going to really play if he's not 100% healthy? But he gets out there. Rams' offense was absolutely putrid till late in the game. How about 5 field goals? Just was not a card that I liked. I made a 1-unit bet on the under, and the reason for the under bet, Tua's first 2 games back, 27 points in each. Looked like he was getting better and better. Rams getting a couple offensive linemen back, give Stafford a little more time. That just never materialized. Let's look at some questions before we get into the NBA card today. Sharp butter knife, Dallas will never be good with Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is a disaster. You 2 hands on, get off. Hire a general manager, shut the fuck up. Anyway, the football game was worse than watching paint dry. Yeah, it was a horrible football game. Right to God, Dallas could really turn things around if they trade Parsons for a haul of picks already. That's not a bad idea. This season's over, and maybe next. Dak is gone for the season. I don't know if he's the answer anyway. Why is anybody surprised? It's the Cowgirls. I'm not surprised that. I got to be honest with you. I can't say that. Beginning of the season, I did have Dallas rated better. I didn't think the fall off was going to be this huge. Jerry Jones interviews looking like Joe Biden interviews. That's great. Love it. Cowboys. And Parsons is going to want to leave on his own. Why would anyone want to stay with this Dallas team? Can't believe it. Uncle Glove, yeah, we needed to trade Parsons. You guys are really going back and forth. Sabonis too small for Wemby. I think everybody's too small for Wemby. The other night, we have 9 blocks. This kid is out of his mind. What a wingspan. Spurs crush, Kings coming off back-to-back. So, guys, understand what these back-to-backs mean, how important they are, especially a back-to-back or any back-to-back if it's a close game, but especially if it's a back-to-back overtime. Really take a lot out of these guys. And they got to travel. And then it was Sacramento, what made it even worse. So who's next game against Sacramento? Phoenix. So there was a little sandwich game. They finish overtime. They're going to go beat up San Antonio and go back home to complete the bookend series with Phoenix. You don't show up. Guys, betting the NBA during the regular season is a matter of who's showing up for that day. That's why revenge is huge. Back-to-back overtime is huge. Owning a team is huge. Who's showing up that particular day? I think the whole team. Okay, guy's going to keep talking about Dallas. I'm going to let that go. Dallas now really one of the worst teams in the NFL at this point, ratings-wise, with now Cooper Rush as your quarterback, and they say he will be back at the quarterback again this weekend. We can go over them, but let's get through the NBA. So I sent out to our members our injury list in the morning. We only know so much at 8, 9, 10, and even 11 o'clock in the morning. But we give you what we got. And what we got is Trae Young out for Atlanta. They're already missing DeAndre Hunter. That's 2 starters down. They'll go to Boston. Remember, Celtics went to Atlanta and beat them by 30 about 8 days ago. So this would have been a revenge game. And they kind of hung twice at Boston last year, losing 1 by 8, 1 by 10. But without Trae Young, like I said, just tough to pull the trigger here. But Celtics, are going to sit some people. So Horford and Tatum both questionable. Horford does not play back-to-back. Boston plays at Brooklyn tomorrow. Brooklyn gave Celtics all they could want last week. Makes sense. They'll sit some guys here. So could see Tatum and Horford sitting. In that case, all of a sudden we're looking at, hey, maybe Atlanta's worth the plus 15. Injury game, we'll wait to see more. Miami, Detroit, Jimmy Butler out for the Heat. Heat actually got it done at Minnesota, a place that they don't win without Butler their last game. Let's see if they can get it done at Detroit. This is a team that they normally beat. They've beat them 7 straight, big but, Pistons 5-2 against the spread. If my members remember, we had Pistons at Miami earlier this year, plus 8.5, and that game landed 8. We got the cover. Pistons, they took a tough loss Sunday against the Rockets. They were fighting the whole way. Doran, questionable. He's missed the last couple of games for Detroit. I think this game is right there at the number. If you're looking at my ratings, you see I've got Heat 3.2 points better on the road than Detroit is at home. But again, this is their 4th stop in 7 days. While Detroit's been home, no travel, and a little bit of a revenge, they stay under the number. My number is 1.5. That's what the number is. Our first bet, and this was sent out yesterday, the 3-unit bet. As I told my members, the line makers just have the wrong number on the Magic. Magic are terrible on the road. Magic are really good at home. They've won the first 2 games of this homestand by 27 points each. We had them the first 2 games. We're coming right back with them in this game. Magic, again, they're on this homestand. Charlotte, Charlotte got it done for us at Philly Sunday. They lose in overtime, but they stay under the number plus 5. But Orlando going to be just too much for them. They have the wrong rating. We laid 6. This game is up to 8 now. Magic won both meetings in Orlando last year by a combined 33 points. Again, buried the number, and this is what we do. And if you're not a member, because, some guys say, it's expensive. My membership is $299 a month. If you're a $100 better, that membership is going to pay for yourself just in the points that, if you had to buy the points, like you're listening to me now, and you're going to go lay the Magic minus 8, and you had to buy it down to 6, the number my members got it at, the membership is going to pay for itself in a couple of days. This is what we do every day, guys. This is not a one-off. What we did on Sunday, we didn't just beat the numbers. We got lucky. We bet 2 games today. They both moved 3 points or 2 points or more. I mean, this is what we do. Anyway, Knicks Philly, that's our other game that we bet. And it simply said, so let me just pull up my, always want to give you guys the right stats. So here's the stats, guys. Joel Embiid will be back today. Okay, so Embiid averaged 33 points, 10.8 boards, 5.7 assists in the playoff series last year versus the Knicks. The Knicks still won 4 of the 6 games. Can we possibly expect Embiid in his first game back to come close to those stats? He'll also be missing Maxey, who he did have in the playoff games, and he's got PG, but PG so far through 4 games, 14.3 points per game on 38.8% shooting. My ratings with Embiid out had the Knicks 7.2 points better on the road than Philly is at home. There's no way to swing this 8 points for Embiid. So playoff revenge and everything else, there's just no way I could have made Philly the favorite, and Philly may still win. But every other sharp guy in the world believes just what I believe and have now made the Knicks a 3-point favorite. What you got to do is become a member and get these games before the lines move. There is nobody. I'm not talking about on social media. There is nobody better in the NBA than I am. Toronto-Milwaukee, another injury game. Quickly questionable. He came back for Toronto after missing about 4 or 5 games. Played a couple of games back being questionable. Remember, Toronto already still without Scotty Barnes. They've been doing a good job covering, though. But they've lost all 4 on this road trip. This is their 5th game in 9 days. Not 5th different city because they did the double stop in LA playing both the Clippers and the Lakers. Milwaukee needs a win, man. Tough L they took Sunday, our only loser for the day. And here comes Toronto, and there goes Lillard. Lillard gets a concussion. He's already been ruled out tonight. He'll be questionable tomorrow. By the way, let me jump back to Philly 1 second. So Philly is going to play tomorrow also. They got the Cavs tomorrow. So just keep in mind, Embiid's playing tonight. There's no chance. There's no chance he's playing tomorrow. He's not going to be playing back-to-back games. So just bear that in mind. So much like Lillard in concussion protocol, if he's not playing tonight, I don't see how he's getting out of concussion protocol for tomorrow. We're always thinking ahead. I'm already waiting for tomorrow's NBA lines to come up. This is how you get the jump. So a lot of guys don't have. You got to have DraftKings and Bet Online. These are the first 2 that come up real early in the day. And we're robbing them, guys. I mean, we're literally taking their money. They can't beat us at the numbers that we're taking from them in the day. So if you have those, I mean, if you don't have either one, then it's a different story. But if you have either Bet Online or DraftKings, it pays to be a member. That's all I can tell you. So Milwaukee looked to get this W. Toronto 6-2. Their last 8 meetings at Milwaukee, 6-1-1 against the spread. But again, a totally different Toronto team. And this, I mean, while it's really the same guys, I mean, it's Giannis. This Milwaukee, the fall off is, I don't understand it. I just don't. Giannis has another huge game the other night and just not getting it done. Phoenix at Utah. Here's what I had circled for Phoenix. Well, actually, I had this underlined for Phoenix. I just couldn't finish it. But my lean was on the Suns, and that line's moved up. Nurkic is going to be questionable. He only played a few minutes, maybe 15 minutes in that sack game. He was questionable going into that game. He'll be questionable coming out. Plumlee's a solid backup for him, but you're already missing KD, so it's always tough when you're missing another guy. While Nurkic's not a line mover, when you're already missing somebody, now it's that ripple effect. We call it a cluster when there's 2, 3, or more. Kenyatta George for Utah. He's questionable, missed the last game. Jazz finished up their road trip with a win. So they've been off for 2 days, while Phoenix is coming in off that overtime home loss and has Sacramento next. So again, little sandwich game for Phoenix. Utah is off a couple of days. The leanest to Phoenix, that's the right side. That line has moved from 3 to 4. Just didn't love it, and I love our other two spots, so we left that one alone. Minnesota, Portland. And this is just Minnesota or nobody. Portland, guys, we bet against Portland. Sunday night, we bet Memphis. They beat them by 40. Washington was its worst team in basketball. Portland is, I don't want to say not far behind because they're definitely better. They would actually be favored if they played at Washington. They would still be a road favorite. But other than that, they're the worst team other than the Wizards. Their last few games were ugly. They get back home. They just lost at Minnesota by 25 and have now lost the last 5 meetings with the Timberwolves by a combined 102 points. The only thing that stops me from laying this number. This is a 2-game series in Portland. They'll play tonight and play tomorrow. So you get that nice double-digit lead. You may pull some guys, get some rest. You put Conley, maybe Gobert on the bench a little bit to keep them available for tomorrow. But it's Minnesota or nobody, especially that Minnie's coming off that tough loss against Miami. They'll want to get some payback. Minnesota or no one. We'll see where this one goes. And the last game is Dallas, Golden State. P.J. Washington and Lively have missed the last couple of games for the Mavs. Looking like they may get Lively back. Waiting to get word on Wiggins for Golden State. He's questionable. Remember, he missed a couple of games a week or so ago with the back, so he's going to be questionable again. The spot here belongs to Dallas, believe it or not. Dallas coming off a fucking tough loss at Denver. And Golden State Warriors coming off a long road trip with the final of the road trip, a big win at OKC. So maybe a little letdown. And for Mass Edge members, just look at the ratings and you'll see I've got Golden State rated better on the road than at home. And I mean much better. They've been doing a better job on the road in the last 2 years. Dallas, very small difference between their home and their road rating. So the leanest to Dallas in this one. Only problem here is Warriors have won 5 of the last 6 at Golden State, covering 4 of the 6. Wiggins out. I would be on the Mavs. Mavs are nobody in this one. Time for some answers and questions before we do anything. First, if anyone wants an account on a Paradise skin, feel free to DM me. Zachary, roundabout. I don't know what that is. Or to God, okay. Low Vig AG is another great site. Sister site for Bet Online. Great odds. So say you guys are sharing some stuff. That's great. The free days 5 years ago when John was releasing baseball on IG, I didn't even know what Don Best was back then. I've learned so much. Sharp butter knife. Glad you have. And bead more like M. Bum. SMU Mustangs are number 1 in ACC. That's good for Dallas sports. SMU, just because you mentioned it, SMU gets BC, Boston College, and in a situation, this is a crush spot for SMU. So SMU coming off a bye, they've won their last 6 games, 5-1 against the spread. Only game they didn't cover was that overtime against Duke. BC coming off a home win. That home win against Syracuse makes them bowl eligible. Quarterback Castellanos questionable. And they met in the bowl game last year, if you remember, with BC winning 23-14. This is a crush spot for SMU. And it shows the line. What are we up to here, guys? I think I saw 16.5. Just seeing some movements here. So yes, SMU up to 16.5, and then they deserve to be every bit of it. If Castellanos is out, even more. Ali says BC cash for me Saturday. I got so lucky I didn't even know Castellanos was out. Bulls game was lit last night. Oh, that's the right. You attended that game, Ali. Mizzou +3 Saturday was never a sweat. Never a sweat, huh? That was that shootout with Oklahoma at the end. Thoughts on Colts +4 at Jets? Now let's give you some pro football. If you're a Mass Edge member, you see I've got the Jets rated a little higher. Jets got everybody back this week. I've got Jets rated 4.5 points better at home than the Colts are on the road. Are they showing up, or are they packing it in with their season? Indianapolis, who will they have to play? Remember, center Kelly, he's gone. Left tackle Raymond, he left the game. Offensive line, guys, I can't tell you how important the offensive line is. When you have multiple guys out on that offensive line, look at what's going on in Chicago. This team was playing good football, and all of a sudden their ratings have fallen off the map. They can't score. You're blamed, they fired the offensive coordinator, and maybe with due cause, but if you don't have guys protecting, what was he sacked 9 times? 9 times? That's not even a real number, getting sacked 9 times. So you got to have that offensive line. So if Colts are missing your center and your left tackle, and they're going to definitely be missing Kelly, the center, and Pittman did not play. So again, injuries take part on it. The Jets getting healthy. I make the game higher, but is this it? Are the Jets showing up? So we'll see. I got really no dog in the fight. Don't have an NFL bet yet. Rodgers moves like he's already in a nursing home. Guys, he's a 40-year-old quarterback. We went through this with, for you guys that used to follow us on IG, a couple of years back when the Mets had Verlander and Scherzer as their aces. Now, what the fuck are they going to do with a couple of 40-year-old? If they start the season, will they be pitching in June or July? Will they make it there? This is a 40-year-old guy. So what you got, a 40-year-old guy coming off an Achilles tear. What did they expect? You know, if you could have got a good game manager out of him, and the D lived up to him, because the D's not even what that was supposed to be. The Jets are, that old Dennis Green, the Jets are who I thought they were. An average team, but they're actually less than average right now. Time to retire, no question. Flacco with 3 turnovers didn't help. Talked about Flacco yesterday. Flacco actually played better without Jonathan Taylor in the backfield, and when he was just filling in for an injured Richardson. Last couple of games since they handed him the job, no bueno. Hey, John, waiting on a reply to a DM. What DM? Where did you DM me? You got Cowboys, Jason. Cowboys was a letdown. Yes, they certainly were. Baylor getting some money in the college football right now. Baylor going to 3. It's a spot against West Virginia. Khalib already had trouble evading pass rush at USC. Literally, all you have to do is blitz him. I didn't think he was the Heisman. I didn't think he was. I didn't think a hell of a lot of Khalid, to be honest with you. I just didn't. But anyway, Baylor. What are we going to talk about? Baylor coming off a bye, big spot for them. West Virginia coming off a win, a road win at Cincy. And West Virginia has won the last 2 meetings, winning at Baylor, 34-31 last year, and home, 43-40 the year before. So winning the last 2 years by a field goal, and they feel it's Baylor's chance to win this one. Green, the quarterback, he's missed the last couple of weeks. I would expect that they're saying he's out. Even with that, still don't make the number that high. I get the revenge spot and everything. Just can't get to a full 3. Judges, some people are saying Panthers actually won that Bears trade now. Limits get bigger at casino as the week goes on, but see plenty of sharp guys betting totals. Oh, totals get crushed. Totals get crushed immediately. It's so tough to bet the totals this year. I've been hardly on any totals. They're burying them on Sunday nights. Sunday and Monday, the numbers are gone. Once again, guys, I love to watch the NFL and have a bet on a team that I like. Love the Steelers this week. I don't force anything in the NFL. I crush the NBA too much. There's too much of an edge in NBA to worry about NFL. If an NFL bet presents itself, I'm there. I like the Steelers. It was a 3-unit bet. But I'm beating NBA games by 2, 3, 4 points a day. That's our bread and butter. So best NBA handicapper in the world. I don't say that lightly. Best NBA handicapper in the world. He proving it every day. Again, we'll be on numbers. I already got my numbers for tomorrow. I already know we're going to have a couple of spots. So Mass Edge members, get ready. When BetOnline and DraftKings pop up their numbers for tomorrow, we'll be ready to jump. Pitt was a great call. I appreciate it. It was the call. You can have Tomlin. He's unbeatable off the bye. A veteran quarterback, Wilson, big game. 2 teams were facing look-ahead spots. Steelers' schedule gets really tough. They had a cakewalk of first 8 games. They're going to get 6 the first 9 games. They get 6, all 6 of their division games coming up to end the season for the Steelers. They needed that game. So they just could not look ahead to Baltimore. Wash, the upstart team, rookie quarterback. Love Daniels. Still a rookie, though. How are you going to handle this first-place pressure and the look ahead to the Eagles? And just that little bit of edge, guys. He's never had a minus 500 season. Has not. Tomlin is one of the great coaches of all time. Definitely got Knicks +1 last night. Thank you, John. You are welcome, Orlando. I'm a little late, but Rams just did not show up to play. They did not. Anyway, guys, if anybody missed anything, you can catch this. I will replay it in its entirety. If there's any other questions, a particular game or not, ask me now. If not, I'll jump out. John, someone asked what time BetOnline DraftKings line usually open for NBA said. Don't say about. I don't know. No, you never know. Sometimes it's early, sometimes it's late. Sometimes DraftKings first, sometimes BetOnline first. I sit here, eyes pinned to computers until lines pop up. So there is no, they do that purposely. They don't want to have an exact pattern. Do I still play Orlando -8? You do whatever you want, WM Prudent. What you do is you become a member at the Match Edge and you fucking lay 6. There's no edge anymore at 8 and 8.5, guys. I mean, maybe there's the slightest of edges, but it's not the edge that we got laying 6. Did you cover the Dallas game? Dallas Mavs. I covered all the NBA, Orlando. I know you weren't interested in that. To me, like I said, Lively's questionable to return. Looks like he will be back. Wiggins, he's questionable. We'll see what the injuries say. Dallas or nobody. But they've lost 5 of this last 6 meetings there. Just 2-4 against the spread. What do we got, guys? Anything else before I wrap it up? All right, guys, one more time. 2 NBA bets today. We sent them out yesterday, last night. Didn't have a bet in NBA yesterday. If you want somebody to follow, to just give you bets every day, to give you a bet on every primetime football game because it's football and you got to have a bet on football or you're not a handicapper. They're frauds. Go find one. You want a real motherfucker that when he bets, beats the piss out of the books, okay? Here's the spot that you want to be, okay? Magic, -6 sent out yesterday. That line is 8. New York Knicks +1. That line is now Knicks 3. You're not going to find a better kappa anywhere. Guys, I'm here each weekday, 11 a.m. Eastern. Follow me. Let's make some money.